Right. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning for our first ever virtual coffee break with CFNC. We are excited to kick this off. We plan on having this Wednesday each month at 9 a.m. Educators, welcome. I know some months we may have a bigger group than others, so excited to bring everyone here and have a different topic as we go through the rest of this academic year. So this is kind of our timeline for how it will go. So we'll go over that. I just want to introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. I'm April Cleary with College Foundation of Carolina, Assistant Vice President of College Access and Community Outreach, and I've been with College Foundation for over 17 years now, and have gotten to serve our families across the state in lots of different ways. So just so excited to be here with you. So the format for these each month, as of right now.
April, sorry to interrupt, but folks are continuing to share that it's been hard to hear you and that you're still sounding choppy. I don't know if you have headphones or another way to connect. And if so, then maybe Constance can start and you can get that set up, perhaps.
Yeah, let's do that. Is it better if I turn off my, it's so interesting. Okay. So we are going to do that. So we're going to move over to our video, and we'll come back and talk about the official format more in just a minute.
Welcome.
We are not hearing the video.
Yeah, either. Take just a minute and pause.
No worries, no worries. Good morning, everyone. Yes, technology challenges are never fun. I think we've all been there, so no worries at all. I just wanted to give a quick FSA update because, as you know, FAFSA is finally open, although it was a little bit of a bumpy ride those first few days. And there's some other things that you should know about just as you're starting to help students. So we want to make sure we're giving you the latest and greatest. So FAFSA's up. This week appears to be a little more stable. So, you know, crossing our fingers, we're hoping it at least stays up, which is would be a wonderful thing. Many of you, Jenny will be talking about FAFSA Day in a minute, but wanted to make sure you all know the FSA has been occasionally taking FAFSA down for system maintenance. We have asked that they not do a scheduled system maintenance during FAFSA Day at the end of the month, and they have agreed. So we should have stability, barring technology, as we see, can sometimes be challenging, but hopefully that will cooperate. And so we'll have a reliable system that morning. There are already some known issues. I think many of you know this is the first major change they've made to FAFSA in literally decades. They built the system from the ground up because there are going to be so many changes. And so, April, I'm going to want to share my screen in a minute. So if you don't mind giving me screen sharing options, that would be great. So because they were building the system from the ground up, there are, no surprise, some technology issues that they are becoming aware of. And we did publish that through our CFNC NC FAFSA Hub news alerts, that's a mouthful, on Monday. So you at least know the ones that they're aware of that they are working on. If you notice additional challenges, feel free to send that through our outreach at ncscaa.edu, and we'll be sure to share that with our national partners so that FSA knows there's additional challenges. In terms of a couple of things that we are aware of. Address in setting up your FSA ID appears to be causing issues. So one of the workarounds we've heard is to remove the address from the FSA ID or studentaid.gov account setup and just continue forward. I think you might get an error message pop up, but just keep moving forward, get to the end, get the ID set up, and then you can go back in and add your address. That is the workaround we've been hearing so far, and that appears to be working. One of the other challenges we're hearing is that the new process for parents without a social security number does not appear to be working fully yet. So that clearly needs a little bit more work. And so I would recommend trying back in another week or two to see if that has been corrected. FSA is aware of it. They are working on it, but at least as of yesterday, it was not fixed. So that's that piece. The other important thing to know is the student records that come out of a FAFSA, excuse me, will not be available until the end of the month. So that has a couple of implications for us. For those of you who rely on the Finish the FAFSA tool, we can't populate Finish the FAFSA until we get those student records from FSA. And so you will not see your FAFSA, your Finish the FAFSA account populate until then. So if you've been on your account and you're wondering why you're not seeing any data, that's why. So we have been told we'll see those records at the end of the month. If there's a change to that, we will communicate that to you and let you know. Currently, the second file we usually get from FSA to populate the FAFSA tracker is not expected to be available until April. So we're trying to see if we can build our own record that we can then populate the tracker and hopefully get that up by mid-February. That's what we're shooting for. Again, we'll communicate if there's a change to that, but that's our current plans. The other thing to know about the student records not being available until the end of the month is that means the financial aid offices are also not getting that, because we get the records first and we send them out to the colleges and universities, financial aid offices to build the award letters that students get in order to see what they qualify for. The financial aid offices won't get those records until the end of the month. So no award letters will be coming out before then. Give your financial aid offices a little bit of grace, just like the rest of us. We're trying to adapt and pivot as the scenario dictates. So I would expect by mid-February, hopefully, we'll start to see some of those award letters come out. But don't so don't be bombarding them now. The other thing FSA sent out last week is that they will not be sending the test files to the financial aid offices until mid-January. So maybe the end of this week or early next week. What that means is they use those test files to test the systems they use to build the financial aid award letters. Because it's a brand new, FAFSA, we're trying to make sure that it connects to the systems that generate those awards. So again, all of this is a little bit delayed, but folks we're continuing to work through all these challenges as they surface. The other important piece for you all is students will not be, they'll get an email confirmation that their completed FAFSA was received, but they will not see their FAFSA submission summary, which is the replacement to SAR, Student Aid Report. They won't start seeing that again until the end of January is the current estimate of when we're likely to see those things. So so those are kind of the quick updates there. Now, the other thing I want to make you all aware of, hopefully you've heard about NextNC by now, but I want to share that real quick so that you all know what's going on there. Let me put that into slideshow mode slideshow from current slide. There we go. Okay, so Next NC, many of you may have heard that we as a state have consolidated the various need-based grants that students can get. What we were finding in our research is financial aid is really confusing. Students don't really care where the money comes from, but they do want to know what they qualify for. So the purpose of Next NC was to give clarity to students as to who is likely to qualify and at least the minimum they can qualify for, so that they know whether they can afford college or not. And so that's what Next NC does. That's the power of it. So very simply, most North Carolina students, approximately 94% who are from a household with an adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less, will qualify for at least the base guarantee, which is huge. And so what we've seen from the research is once students understand that, they're way more likely to go to college because they see they can afford it. They have to complete a FAFSA in order to qualify. And this combines the federal Pell Grant with the state scholarships into one reliable aid. Technically, 100% of students with an AGI of 80,000 or less and an SAI of 7,500 or less will qualify. But if you're only using the 80,000 alone, most will qualify, 94%. The aid is available for its need-based aid. Those students who need more support will qualify for more money on top of it. If a student is planning to attend a North Carolina community college, the base guarantee is $3,000 per year, and the priority date to file the FAFSA is August 15th in order to qualify for Next NC. If they're planning to attend a UNC system institution, the base guarantee is $5,000 per year, and they need to have their FAFSA in by June 1st. Again, they may qualify for more money. Now, you might be asking, why is it a priority date? Because there may still be money available after June 1st and after August 15th. But the total fund is nearly $180 million. It could conceivably run out. So if a student applies by June 1st for a UNC institution or August 15th for a community college system, they will get at a minimum the base guarantee. And if they qualify for more, they will get more. So we always want to encourage students to complete their FAFSA sooner rather than later. The other important thing to know that we've seen time and again in our research is that students, all of these motivate students to go to college knowing that the base guarantees they could qualify for, knowing that it'll cover all of tuition and fees at a community college, or more than half, if not all, at a UNC institution. But the thing that made a student more likely to be plan to go to college is to hear that the Next NC scholarship doesn't have to be paid back. Students are not always clear that scholarships and grants are money that doesn't need to be paid back. So we want to make sure we're sharing that with students. The other thing to let you know is the Next NC website is now live. That's at nextncscholarship.org. So there's lots of great information on there for you and your students to learn more about the scholarship and all the fine details about how to qualify. There is a toolkit available that is live now as well. So you'll see in the, I'll share some of the resources in a minute, but you'll see the toolkit resources that you can download. And then there's also a user guide that has things like talking points when you're presenting, information or actual language you can use in the social media. So you'll see that there's social media tiles you can grab. The copy is in the user guide. There's handouts in both English and Spanish, one-pagers. We have started paid media that is geared towards parents and guardians, students, and adult learners. That has begun, so you might start to see some of those ads online. There are digital displays. This is primarily for your community college and university partners. But if you have digital displays at your school that you want to use these from, you certainly are welcome to. You can actually add your school logo to those. There are table tents as well that you can add your school logo to in both blue and white that you can put on the tables in your office or in the cafeteria. There are PowerPoint slides. So these 3 slides are slides that you can add to any of the FAFSA night or financial aid nights or any other presentations you are doing with students and families on financial aid and FAFSA. You can include these in there. Again, you can add your logo, and we will be working on earned media. So press, we've already gotten quite a bit of press. More is coming out shortly with FAFSA Day. Again, Jenny will share in a minute. And, just a quick reminder, the NC FAFSA Hub is live. We are continuing to update that so that you all know the latest and greatest coming from FSA. And with that, I am going to stop sharing and turn it over to Jenny so she can update y'all on FAFSA Day. We have a lot of great stuff coming your way. Jenny.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being patient with us, given our technology trouble this morning. As someone said in the chat, it happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. This is the first virtual coffee chat, so we're working out the kinks. So again, thank you for your patience and thank you for your compassion as well. So I want to talk to you all about FAFSA Day, which I am very excited about. I'm going to share my screen with you all so you can see the map here that we have and the website. So FAFSA Day, can y'all see that, the website? Okay, awesome. FAFSA Day is a collaboration between SEAA, NACASFA, which is the state partnership of financial aid offices and financial aid officers throughout the state, and 60, count that, 60 colleges and universities throughout the state. And so FAFSA Day isn't new. Those of you who have been around for a while have probably heard of FAFSA Day, but we're bringing it back this year, especially given the challenges that we've seen with the Better FAFSA. So on January 27th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., students and families, so that's high school seniors, adult learners, current college students and families, can go to any one of these locations here on the map, and they can get help completing their FAFSA. So the goal is FAFSA completion, but that might not happen, just to be completely honest, but we at least want to get students started on the way to FAFSA completion. And so I'll just click one of these pins here on the map to let you know what you can see when you visit the website. So here we have Central Carolina Community College. They are participating. They have their event details are listed here. So all you have to do is click on the pin on the map to see the event details. Excuse me. So again, we have 60 institutions who are participating. If you scroll down, students or parents can register for FAFSA Day. While registration is not required, we are strongly encouraging folks to register in advance so that the universities and the colleges know who's coming. They'll know what type of caseload they're going to be working with that day. We're asking students and families to not only register, but to pick a time that they plan to come. If they're not able to make that time, it's okay. They can still come, even if they miss their allotted time slot. We just really want to get them in the door to get them the assistance that some folks may need to submit the FAFSA and to complete the FAFSA. If you are interested in volunteering for FAFSA Day, we would love to have you. And with that, I'm going to take you all to the Education Professionals page. So if you click here at the top where it says Education Professionals, the first call out box here is FAFSA Day for Education Professionals. Same map is here, but there is a toolkit, which I'll open and go through in just a moment, and also the volunteer link if you're interested in volunteering at a FAFSA Day event. That can sound overwhelming, but we're going to train you. So next Friday, January 19th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., I'll be doing a FAFSA training for all volunteers. Not all FAFSA Day hosts are looking to have volunteers. So once you click the link, if you don't see it in institution listed, it's because they preferred not to have external volunteers that day. Volunteers can help with anything from greeting and check-in to parking or to actually helping students submit their FAFSA. It all depends on what the college or university needs that day. So if you want to be involved, but you're a little intimidated maybe by the FAFSA process, still sign up. There's work for you to do. You can still help us out. You can still help students out on FAFSA Day. So I'll open the FAFSA Day toolkit so that you can see how you can help to promote FAFSA Day as well. So in this toolkit, there are some social posts that you can use if you're interested in posting on social media, but maybe coming up with the content isn't your strong suit. That is definitely the case for me. Feel free to use one of the FAFSA Day social posts here. They are available both in English and in Spanish. There's a video that you can download and post to your social media sites as well. Instructions for downloading it are here. Excuse me, if you want to use FAFSA Day messaging in a newsletter, let's say you send out a newsletter or an email to your students every Friday, copy the sample copy and messaging here. We're really trying to take the work out of it for you all so that you all can work smarter and not harder. Please post or print out these maps and place them around the building. Place them where students congregate. Give some to your teachers so students can see what locations are participating that day. Every county highlighted in orange has a participating location, and those that are bolded down below offer Spanish services. So please print these out and post them so that students can see where they can go on January 27th. This map was updated as recently as January 4th, but since then we've also added Martin Community College. They're not highlighted on the map, but they will be on the live events map where the pins were. So please spread the word so that students know what's coming. Here's another flyer that you can use that you can post around your campuses. I'll skip down a little because there are some Spanish copies of the same flyer. If you're into table tents, you want to put something in the cafeteria that students can see while they're eating lunch, print these out, fold them up, put them there. There's a QR code where they can go and learn more information and where they can register. And then we have these signs here. They're supposed to be yard signs, but if you're having a FAFSA event, print them out and put them up in your building to direct students and parents where to go to find your FAFSA event. So you can find all of this information on our FAFSA Day website. I'm going to put the FAFSA Day website and the specific link to the education professionals page in the chat when we're done. So that's information about FAFSA Day. We are very excited about it. It's a full circle moment for me. I was a college advisor way back in the day, and I got to volunteer at a FAFSA Day event at Vance Granville Community College, and now I get to help bring FAFSA Day to the state. So we're really, really excited about FAFSA Day. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can get your questions answered and get you headed in the right direction. So first, before we talk about some ideas to make your FAFSA Day event successful, I'm going to take a moment and share the link for FAFSA Day in the chat. So give me just a moment.
And Jenny, while you're doing that, if I can jump in and just make a quick plug for Financial Aid February. As many of you know, we do a How to Pay for College webinar series. We did the overview in the fall, as well as Jenny led the scholarship panel. As part of Financial Aid February, we're going to be doing 4 more webinars for students and parents in the evenings as part of that series, in order to continue to support you all in keeping information front and center for students and parents so that they know this is kind of the key time, especially with the delay with FAFSA. That they know, this is why this is important, kind of keep that top of mind. So the topics we're going to cover, as I said, we already did how to pay and scholarships in the fall. In February, the first week is loans, because we do get asked quite a bit of questions about that. So we want to make sure we're covering that. The second week, we're hoping to have we will have FAFSA and financial aid for those from mixed status families. Hopefully the FSA process is finally, settled by then, where we can give everyone clear direction on what that process looks like to help students whose parents don't have a Social Security number still set up their studentaid.gov account and then complete the FAFSA. Week 3 is our Show Me the Money, kind of what are the steps students need to take after they complete a FAFSA. So things like correcting errors, professional judgment, and what to do if they get flagged for verification. And the 4th week will be evaluating and comparing financial aid award letters. So we'll be sending out information on that through our CFNC email communications soon, but that's coming. And just want to kind of put that on your radar. I know we're sharing a lot this morning, but we want you to know that we're here to support you and your students and families. So with that, I will turn it back to Jenny.
Awesome. Thanks, Kathy. So I see from some of you that the link isn't working. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we will make sure that you get the correct links. So let's talk about your FAFSA events. So these are just some quick tips, some best practices for planning your planning your upcoming FAFSA events. So number one, are you able to offer it in the evening hour? Specifically later around 6 p.m. when most families are off of work. That'll increase the possibility that families and students are able to attend together. And are you able to offer a virtual offering as well? Is it possible to have both a live event and to have a virtual event as well? Can you have food? So I know that food costs money. We all know that, right? But food also increases the possibility of being able to have working families come out when it's during their dinner time. Can you work with your administration? Can you get someone to sponsor? Can you have food at the event so that families aren't having to choose between providing a meal and getting the information that they need to be able to submit the FAFSA? As we know, lots of our students have younger siblings. Can you work with maybe SGA or someone in the school community to offer childcare for those younger siblings while their parents are getting the information that they need to submit the FAFSA and working on FAFSA completion? Can you have small activities for the kids to do if they're not able to be separated? Maybe you can have little bags with Dollar Tree coloring books and small packs of crayons. The Dollar Tree also sells small puzzles that kids can put together, just something for them to be active. And so their parents aren't having to kind of divide their attention between trying to keep the kids quiet and getting the information that they need. Those of us who are working parents, I'm sure have all been in that position where we're trying to get information, but the kids just won't let us. So is there something that you can do that's cost effective that can also help parents in being able to pay attention? It goes without saying, but have Spanish materials available and also have an interpreter available at the events as well. Get buy-in from partners in the school community. So the research that we have completed has shown that teachers and coaches are also trusted partners in this work. And I know we don't have to tell you all that you're in the schools and you're living it. So can we get buy-in from teachers to promote the information, to promote the event, to maybe even to attend the event? And the same thing with administration. If you are able to have a virtual event, please remember to record the event, send it out to families later on. And there are a couple of tips that I thought of too that I wanted to share that aren't on the screen. If you're having a FAFSA event, outsource it. So don't try to do it all yourself. I can remember trying to come up with the material and plan it and put the event on, and at the end, exhausted. Use your community partners. Is there a local institution with a financial aid office who's looking maybe for some promotion with students? If so, tap them and ask them to come out and do your financial aid night for you and to assist in your FAFSA event as well. Also consider community partners. If there's a strong community-based organization in your area, a college access organization, work with them to maybe hold a joint event, maybe even have an event at their space instead of at your school, especially if it's more central to the community. And then lastly, if you are having a FAFSA completion event, please encourage folks to create their studentaid.gov accounts before the completion event so that when they are there, they won't run into any trouble with transferring their information through the direct data exchange. Anything that you'd like to add, Kathy, before we pass it back to April?
I think you covered it there.
Awesome. So April, we'll pass it back over to you.
You're muted. You're still muted.
April, we can't hear you.
Right.
I am so not muted. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you now.
Okay, that's so interesting. It told me to mute the computer because I'm on the phone, but oh, fun things. Okay, well, thank you all so much. And I was going to add too, I had a note in here, you know, that this isn't the field of dreams, you know, it's not always if you build it, they will come, right? So I think that gets back to what Jenny was saying with, you know, going to them in some areas. So it just depends on what your school's goals are with FAFSA completion and what kind of resources and time and folks you have to help do this. But, you know, thinking outside of the box to what's your biggest, you know, few employers in your county, a school district, you know, whatever it might be. And, you know, Jenny mentioned, you know, working jointly with other organizations and making sure that we have included within our network those HR folks and make sure that they know some of the goals for the students and then maybe even the parents to get those FAFSAs completed. So yeah, lots of really, really good ideas here. And I'm going to come back up to this slide here. And I want to go through once again and thank everyone for coming. We will have these each Wednesday, each second Wednesday of the month. And hopefully we have worked through what will be all the technical problems, and there will be no more in the future ever, right? So the way we want to have this is welcome folks at 9 a.m., not have technical issues. We will have either a video from Constance or have Constance join us with Pro Tools. And we're going to take about 5 minutes and she will talk about a topic. So some topic within Pro Tools to make sure that things are staying kind of, you know, right there with everyone. And you've got a reminder, a little tip, something simple, quick and easy. That's the goal of this monthly, is quick and easy. Not this week, obviously. We'll have a topic speaker and I'll talk about next month's topic speaker in just a minute. And Q&A worked so good with everyone putting in the chat and just, you know, hearing what you need. And then we're going to have some open discussion time, which is what we'll move to here in just a minute, and just see what folks want to hear about and make sure that we're talking about what everyone needs. Okay, so in case you weren't aware, these are all your regional reps throughout the state. This picture's in here because we are at Biddy and Bo's Coffee House in Wilmington, the whole group, to keep it with the coffee theme. And so they're here to help, and we'll be recording these. This recording is going to take a little bit of copying and pasting to try to make it the first, you know, 5 minutes visible. So we'll get this out to you by the end of the week, hopefully. But either way, I'm going to shoot an email to everyone who registered and make sure that you have, you know, some of the tips that we talked about. We are going to do a raffle every month to win coffee for your office. So I'm going to kind of handle that one after we're offline, and I'll reach out to the office. I think we will get to a point where we do it during this, but we'll get to some technology things worked out first. So that'll be a fun thing, hopefully. So it's not necessarily going to be for your whole school. It's going to be for your office. So if you are at a high school, it would be, for example, your student support services office. So, and that'll be given out to you in different ways. So we'll see what we got there. So that's something that will happen every month, including this month. And then our next coffee break will happen on Valentine's Day. So that's the second Wednesday in February, again at 9 a.m. And this is going to talk a little bit about helping your students with scholarships. So we will have Devin McCarthy-James join us. She is one of the CFNC regional reps. She joined us a few years ago. Before that, she was a school counselor over in the mountains of North Carolina. And she's going to talk through some tips with scholarships. So that's our plan for how we'll kind of run these. So what I'm wondering now from folks in our last few minutes here, if you have, we have a bunch of topics. I have a huge topic list that we'll work through. Each month, we have topics set through June. We will not have a program in July, and then we'll kick it back up again in August. So if you have any topics you want to make sure that we talk about, please feel free to throw it in the chat. I'll be here. I'm going to make some notes. And also, this will be a time for us to share celebrations. You know, if there is something that you have happening in your school district, in your LEA, at your community organization, whatever it might be, and you want to share it to see kind of this is something really cool that we did, or this is something that we want to do. Does anyone have some ways that we've done that? And this might be related to careers, career planning, college applications, transcripts, financial aid. Can be related to a lot of different topics, trying to keep them kind of within our wheelhouse though. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute and see if anyone has got some stuff, and I know we've got some stuff coming in the chat, so see if anyone wants to unmute, or you can throw it in the chat. And, you know, I think that some months we may have more discussion than others. There are a lot of different organizations that hold meetings similar to this nationwide to talk about a topic, have a short topic presenter, and open it up, right, for celebrations, concerns, other topics folks want to hear about, and keep it somewhat simple with all of this. So we have someone who's a district administrator for Pro Tools. Is there a way to access Finish the FAFSA for all students in that district? Okay, so that is a great question. Yep, that's exactly. Thank you, Kathy. So we can get you all set up with that. So yeah.
And I would say if there's any other district administrators on the call who are we are looking for district level leaders to connect with, to make sure that we have updated lists for Pro Tools and Finish the FAFSA, and to make sure that you have access. So any of you who are district level leaders can also email us at outreach@ncscaa.edu, and we'll be happy to work with you to get you set up as well.
Thank you, Kathy. And you know, we have a goal to have, like, you know, a lot of different mini topics as we go through each of these monthly. So if folks are saying, hey, we'd love a special topic that's solely on, you know, district access, or solely on Finish the FAFSA something, you know, we can do that. So these are made to be flexible. These are made to be timely, hopefully, and you know, kind of laid back. So, all right, folks.
Any other questions?
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have that. We have that on, yeah, I have that on the list. Yes, I have that on the list. And let me make a note, because this is great. So we can push that up. I'm planning these a month in advance, and that's it. So, and just FYI, in case there's anyone else on here that's used to working with our Spanish services, with CFNC, we have 2 Spanish service folks. We have Dr. Juanes Ramirez, and then we have Juana Hernandez Lira, who will be out on maternity leave by the end of the week, just as an FYI. So if you're looking for Juana, she will be out, and we have Juanes who'll be kind of taking over the state. So, so yes, a great way for you guys to connect with each other. I'm so excited just about this conversation happening in the chat. Yes, they're so good.
They are great. The other thing I'll make a plug for while we're waiting to see if any other questions come through is the Financial Aid Summit is coming back this summer. And we are planning that for June 26th and 27th. We're just in save the date mode. Currently, that will be at the Embassy Suites in Concord. We're trying to mix up the location each year. So more information will be coming over the next couple of months, but wanted to make sure you all had the dates to save for now. Any other questions? Any other things you're encountering with working with students on FAFSA? How is it going? I heard from one of our folks last night that things were starting to go pretty smoothly, which was wonderful to hear, but would love to hear from you all on how that's going.
It's going really well. That's what I think it comes down to that. You know, I know Kathy and I were asked, and Jenny might have been on it in a meeting earlier, maybe yesterday, I can't remember, how it's going. And the answer is, we don't know yet quite exactly, because we're still digging into the new year and hosting these events and all that stuff. So I know our answer was, we're getting there, and we don't know how it's going yet. Give us another week or two. But we're here for you, and as you guys have that, so Kim is wondering about the dates.
Yes, June 26th and 27th. Thanks, Jenny.
We have lots of great stuff coming up, and while we don't necessarily control what the FAFSA exactly going on there with the FSA, we're here to help you, and that's part of what that FAFSA Day is, right? Is to just how can we support and help for all of this. Yes, we have experienced that.
Yeah, we are hearing that the challenge with those whose parents don't have a social security number, that is a known error. FSA is aware of it, so they are working on it. So that's not a new problem, unfortunately. But as soon as we hear anything, we will make sure we get a news alert out. So sorry about that. We were all asking all fall, but again, you know, we just need grace all the way around. So we'll get there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Ken is a great resource. It's a great
Yeah.
great suggestion.
Yeah, some of the social media things, it's nice to follow them because sometimes they have more updates. So.
Wonderful.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining, and a special thank you to you, Kathy and Jenny, for joining this morning and for everyone being flexible and all the fun things. So we'll get some more information out to you all. And again, thank you for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. We appreciate you.